Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Campfire Commentary, and I'd like to talk about the Savage Smokeless Muzzleloader. It's a weapon, basically used for whitetail deer hunting in my area. During muzzleloader season, it's an inline muzzleloader. You put in propellant, you use a sabot, which is just basically a bullet with a plastic shell that hits the riflings, and uses a 209 primer system. And Savage made them up until I think about 4 years ago, and then they've had some problems, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I had a friend of mine contact me and send me a couple articles, and I'll link them in the description below. And of course, but basically what's been happening is they're getting barrel fatigue in what looks like the stainless steel model. Now I have a black model here. I've had this rifle for, I don't know, since about, well, probably more than 10 years. It's my favorite. Actually, it's probably my most accurate shooting rifle, even compared to my cartridge rifles for hunting. It's been very successful, and the main reason I opted for a smokeless muzzleloader back in the day, get ballistics equal, to a cartridge gun, and it gives you an advantage when you're hunting in muzzleloader season. Now for us, muzzleloader season is after first bow season, it's after regular rifle season, and needless to say, the deer are wild. Usually you don't get close shots, so it's nice to have something you can reach out with. And I've got a flintlock, of course. I've used that, but flintlocks are real iffy. This inline weapon, is foolproof. You pull the trigger, and there's a bullet going down range. Of course, the problem is, it appears that Savage has some issues with exploding barrels. So at first, I think there's been 3 lawsuits, at least of what I could find. There have been 3 lawsuits, and the injuries, when it happens, it's horrendous. So, and of course these lawsuits, Savage settled, but nobody knows if they were loaded improperly, or if things have changed with the metallurgy, or if people use the wrong powder, different batches, different runs. Well, this is an older one, and supposedly none of these have been having issues. But just a warning to anybody who's thinking about getting them. I've seen these on Gunbroker for sale. Of course, I thought about selling it when I heard that and switching back to a more traditional muzzleloader, or an inline one that would only use like Pyrodex propellant and stuff. And there again, the disadvantage, of course, you have to clean it more. And the big disadvantage with Pyrodex is it actually, it mimics black powder, so you don't have the velocity of the projectile. And that, for me, has always been the big thing, is the projectile velocity. So I don't know. I guess for now what I think I'm going to do is switch back to using Pyrodex or Clean Shot, or some other propellant, instead of using the proper smokeless powder. I'd like to hear if anybody's had any other issues of themselves with these weapons. If you take your traditional muzzleloader, you stick gunpowder, standard gunpowder down the barrel, it will blow up. These have been tested, proof tested, pressure tested, with the breech blocks and everything, not to do that. But of course, that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. That's just the way stuff is. So, hopefully, nobody else gets injured if people heed the warnings. I think the thing that really bothers everybody, especially even like myself, Savage Arms, and I bought this directly from them. Savage Arms did not contact anybody and warn them about this situation. So what does that tell me? You know, oh, well, we quit making it. You know, Savage says, oh, we quit making it because of lack of interest in the weapon. They weren't selling that many. But they didn't say, well, we had 3 major lawsuits, horrendous injuries, you know, did the thing blow up on you, you know, or whatever. They didn't warn you that it could if you don't use the correct propellants. And if you do use the correct propellants, we don't know for sure. You know, maybe you better switch it to Pyrodex, you know, or whatever. So that is disappointing. I've always liked Savage. I'm going to have to switch back just to using Pyrodex in this thing, which was kind of disappointing for me. So if you got any thoughts or any ideas, anything you've heard in the past about these, you know, please leave a comment in the comment section. And you know, thank you for stopping by on our campfire commentary. Just take it as a warning. If a muzzleloader blows up, you will get injured. So always make sure you follow safety procedures, you load them correctly. And if it's a Savage smokeless muzzleloader, you know, maybe you better consider going back to Pyrodex or Clean Shot or something like that. So at any rate, thank you for joining me.